Good day, I'm Lisa Rowe and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, November 4, 2025. The international community continues to stand in solidarity with Jamaica following the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa. On Monday, a shipment of European and international humanitarian aid was delivered to the island. A French naval vessel arrived at the Kingston Freeport terminal, carrying the almost 220 cubic meters of critical supplies to support communities hardest hit by the hurricane. The aid was dispatched under the European Union Civil Protection Mechanism and was coordinated by the French Armed Forces in the West Indies. The support is also with assistance from French, European Union and United Nations partners. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, was on hand to receive the shipment and expressed gratitude on behalf of the government and people of Jamaica.
We thank everyone who has played a part in ensuring that there will be more shelter, more water sanitation, more generators to power up water systems, more generators to power up civil governance mechanisms, like our police stations, like our parish councils, like our schools, that all require the basics to get up and running again.
European Union Ambassador to Jamaica, Dr. Urja Askola, says additional humanitarian assistance will arrive in the coming days from the other EU member states. The ambassador adds that the EU has also activated its mechanism for cooperation to ensure that Jamaica continues to receive coordinated support from across Europe.
Then we have Spain coming in, we have Germany, Belgium and Luxembourg coming in with substantial, much needed supplies. I'm talking about power generators, a mobile hospital, medical staff, much of mobile connectivity as well for satellite connections.
The government will host a series of concerts, both locally and overseas, to raise an initial target of $1 million to help with its Hurricane Melissa recovery efforts. Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange, made the announcement during a media briefing at Jamaica House on Monday. The 5-concert series dubbed I Love Jamaica will feature some of the island's top reggae artists and musicians, along with international friends of Jamaica. The first event will be a virtual concert and a telethon on Sunday, November 16, broadcasting live from the Creative Production and Training Center, CPTC. Minister Grange says additional concerts are planned for the United Kingdom and the United States, with expansion to other regions.
Other communities have reached out to us, and we are in advanced discussions.
Meanwhile, the Jamaica Red Cross will partner with the Jamaica Football Federation and the Entertainment Ministry to coordinate and collect cash donations during the Reggae Boys vs. Curaçao FIFA World Cup qualification football match at the National Stadium on November 18.
I remain grateful that we as a country can always rely on our artists, our creatives, our sportsmen and sportswomen in times of crisis. And I'm really grateful for the way they have been responding to our invitation to participate in this national effort.
The government has intensified its relief operations, with more than 30,000 food packages already distributed to households in hard-hit areas. The update was also made at Monday's press conference by Minister of Labour and Social Security, Colonel Charles Jr. Of the total, 22,156 packages were delivered directly by the ministry from the Jamaica Defence Force JDF warehouse. They include 8,000 packages that were pre-positioned before the hurricane made landfall. In addition to food supplies, the relief operation included the distribution of tarpaulins, water, and other essential items. Minister Charles says an additional 8,500 food packages were delivered to affected communities with the support of private sector partners and the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association.
We are collaborating with the private sector, faith-based organizations, government agencies, to ensure that we can ramp up and move now into the next phase, which is beyond just providing the immediate rapid response to now a more strategic and calculated design of a distribution model that will see us supplying exactly what is needed to specific and strategic areas.
To further strengthen coordination, the ministry has also received Starlink technology, which will be installed in all parish offices to enhance communication networks and support local coordination teams managing the distribution process. In the meantime, the ministry is cautioning the public against fake hurricane grant messages being circulated on social media. The ministry explains that figures being shared online are grants issued after Hurricane Beryl in 2024 and are not linked to any current government assistance program. Citizens are urged to follow the government's official sources for updates, including the Jamaica Information Service, JIS, the Office of the Prime Minister, and the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. Meanwhile, the Jamaica Defence Force, JDF, is appealing for the cooperation of residents in communities hardest hit by Hurricane Melissa to assist with the clearing of debris from football fields, community centres and other large open spaces. This is to facilitate the safe landing of helicopters, conducting search and rescue missions, and delivering humanitarian aid. Acting Chief of Defence Staff Brigadier O'Neill Bogle says community partnership is critical at this time as every minute counts in this life-saving operation. The JDF says it continues to coordinate with the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management (ODPEM), the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, and other national agencies to restore access and deliver essential aid in affected areas. On the matter of water restoration, Portfolio Minister Matthew Samuda says 65% of the National Water Commission's customers are now receiving the commodity.
For instance, we can report that the Constant Spring system, which feeds from the Hermitage Dam, has indeed been restored and is operating from JPS power. We can report the same for the Mona and Hope systems, which obviously move the numbers significantly.
For St. Catherine, 80% of residents have been restored, while the Great River system is expected to be restored by Friday of this week, connecting persons in Lucy and Central St. James. Work on the Martha Brae system is expected to be completed by Thursday, bringing water to Eastern St. James. For St. Thomas, Minister Samuda says the Springfield system is operating on generators as the NWC continues to work on smaller systems. Further updates indicate that procurement is underway for a large generator to facilitate the gutters and pepper systems which serve St. Elizabeth and most of Manchester. This will ensure the Mandeville Hospital has 24-hour water service. A generator is also to be provided for the water system that supplies the Black River Hospital, restoring water to the community and town centre. A generator has also been sourced for operations at the Minyard Well in St. Anne. Minister Samuda says approximately 43 generators are in operation and another 40 are being deployed based on the needs at pumping stations. Still on water, 100 private trucks have been engaged to work with the National Water Commission to supply water to communities that are severely affected by the hurricane. In addition, Minister Matthew Samuda says members of Parliament are to receive letters signifying allocations in the range of $1 to $2 million, depending on the severity of their communities, to engage more private operators. These steps, he says, will help get water to those greatly affected and are least likely to see return of the commodity soon.
We're running generators at all of our loading bays that are affected by power supply. That means where there are generators, we're able to fill trucks 18 hours a day. Where we're connected to JPS, we're filling 24 hours a day. We have suspended charging private truck owners who do access these loading bays to ensure that everyone is able to get water as quickly as is possible.
On telecommunications, Portfolio Minister Darrell Vaz has announced that the country's two main telecommunications providers are making steady progress with restoration efforts. Minister Vaz reports that Digicel has restored 46% of its mobile sites, 86% of its fixed network, and 75% of business connections are now back online.
Service was restored in Santa Cruz, Falmouth, Spurtree, Bevan, and Rose Hall within the past 24 hours. Over the next 2 days, the focus will be on restoring service from Falmouth to Montego Bay, then Montego Bay to Negril. Work is also ongoing in Portmore, Spanish Town, and St. Thomas.
For Flow, approximately 64% of fixed sites are now operational, with 40% of customers reconnected.
For mobile network, 37% of our sites are up, reaching about 78% of mobile customers. Repairs are focused on the hardest hit parishes, including St. Anne, Hanover, and St. Elizabeth, where several towers were damaged.
Meanwhile, the government has received 400 residential Starlink units to be deployed to critical agencies and emergency response teams. The units are being distributed based on the specific needs of the hardest hit parishes.
All the members of parliament in the affected areas will get a mobile Starlink. All the mayors will get a mobile Starlink. And obviously, the leader of the opposition will get a mobile Starlink, and several others. And the municipal corporations will get Starlink to operate as they are the emergency response. Municipal corporation is the emergency response for the parish.
The Jamaican Red Cross and several international non-governmental organizations have also accessed connectivity via Starlink to assist with relief and recovery efforts. The units are also being used to establish community Wi-Fi points in affected areas.
We have hundreds of community Wi-Fi sites that were put in by the Universal Service Fund, which falls under my ministry. So we're working with Starlink now to get those back up so that communities, especially remote communities, will have community Wi-Fi to be able to communicate with their families, etc.
The minister also announced that an additional 200 Starlink units have been donated by a private entity to further support restoration efforts. He also gave an update on automated banking machines ABM in the affected areas.
We have gotten lists from the Jamaica Bankers Association. We're working with them through Starlink to connect the ATMs in those affected areas, and we expect to get at least 10 of them up this week.
And finally, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says several primary care facilities will assume critical support roles to ease the burden of hospitals in the 5 parishes most severely affected by Hurricane Melissa. Those primary healthcare facilities closest to the damaged hospitals will be retrofitted to focus on providing triage and outpatient services.
To the extent that a primary healthcare facility is close to a hospital within those 5 parishes, at SAV, the health center is on the compound, the outpatient, and across the street at Noel Homes on the compound. Where they have been damaged, we're trying to restore them to at least a level where we can triage the non-emergency cases into those health centers and try to staff those to provide other types of care for persons who may be chronically ill or have a case that doesn't require accident and emergency attention, but nevertheless requires attention.
Minister Tufton says this strategic approach will enable hospitals to prioritize emergency cases while maintaining continuity of care for individuals with chronic illnesses and non-critical conditions. He adds that many primary healthcare facilities have already resumed operations, even as repairs and cleanup efforts continue across the sector.
Some will require generator capacity because the electricity is down, water storage, but we had made provisions in a number of these to ensure that these are in place. Where they are not, we're going to try and put them in place so that we can restore some normality to community health. So that is an ongoing effort that is now taking place.
During the press conference over the weekend, Dr. Tufton also assured the public that the ministry, in partnership with the National Health Fund, was taking steps to ensure that essential medications, particularly for chronic illnesses, were available to those who need them. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.